Good morning. Welcome in to the OnlyBets Sports Podcast, Thursday edition, alongside Stern Bets. Drew DeLucchi on the Prince of Picks. Got a great show in store for you guys today. Of course, we're going to be covering the Major League Baseball, WNBA, UFC, soccer, and much more. So excited to get into it. Let's not waste any time. I'm going to go straight into bringing in Moshe here. Get this going here, Moshe. Good morning. Happy Thursday. I know we started a little bit late here today. Apologies on my end. But how you doing, brother? What's going on?
Oh, I thought it was on my end the reason why we started late, but we're having a fantastic day. We're back on track. Technically, I went one on my official article plays yesterday. I mean, what can you say about Paul Skeens? He bounced back for the most part, at least in the first 3 innings, which is when he is most effective. So we got the win over there. Unfortunately, the Red Sox lost in extra innings, so we didn't get the full sweep. But my premium plays did fine. So we're looking like we're back on track, looking to finish the week strong. We got UFC, we got PGA, we got so many things going on. Excited to get into it. Drew, are you in with us? And how was your plays yesterday?
Yeah, I'm in. Fortunately, we were 1 hour short with Sandy. Sandy pitched overall pretty well, only gave up a few runs. I'm going to shout out Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola did absolutely amazing yesterday. I think 7 innings pitched. I think he gave up 1 run, and it was a home run to Sonoha. But yeah, we'll bounce back, of course. But hey, I've been short, so it's unfortunate, but it's not been complete, utter like awful reads. So we'll keep it moving.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure at least three of the last four you lost on the hook, which is extremely
Yep.
annoying. So you can't fault someone for, for losing on the hook. And I will say,
Especially the Framber one. The Framber one hurt a lot.
yeah, that was tough. I will say I have been live betting the outs when I get a more favorable line. So I'll play your play in the morning when you give it out. And then, for instance, Sandy Alcantara gave up 2 or 3 runs early in that game. And I immediately hammered for plus money the over 16.5 and over 17.5, both of which cashed. He unfortunately stopped at 18. He didn't get that 18.5. But what can you do? Prince, how did you do yesterday?
Yeah, I did pretty good yesterday. I mean, you guys have been picking me up. Specifically, last week was a rough week for me, so I'm happy to kind of pick us up this week. Went 2-1 yesterday on the show plays. We had Atletico Madrid on the money line under 3.5 goals. That one cashed. We also had the Colorado Rapids draw no bet. That one cashed as well. We did miss in our WNBA play. We had the Temple Mystics under 170.5. They ended up getting 175 combined there, so just barely missed that one. But 2-1 for the show plays, and let's see if we can carry the momentum into today.
All right, let's go. And by the way, just for our listeners out there, we had an incredible July. Like we were up solid amount of units. I have to double check our actual books because we're lazy and have a lot of work in our personal lives, so it's hard to go and track everything. But from what I can understand, July was a phenomenal month for us. To follow that up, it's really hard, but we're going to keep on trucking. We trust our process, and we're going to get back in the green for this month as well. All right, baseball, all day baseball. Can't wait. We have some incredible matchups to look out for. Some of the pitchers that I think are probably top of the league that we should be looking out for here would be Garrett Cole for the Yankees, Gavin Williams for the Cleveland, and Jacob DeGrom, all of whom have had their struggles this year. But I really, really think that this is the time where they all start turning around, specifically Garrett Cole. And you know what? While I'm on it, let me just jump into my pick. I'm going to take the Yankees Orioles no run first inning at minus 125. I got this last night on DK. I think this is a phenomenal spot for no runs early. Garrett Cole is finding his groove. I think we can consider him an ace again. He's only allowed 4 earned runs through his last 4 starts. And as mentioned, last time that he pitched, we backed him. His shake your metrics, if you're looking at some of the season long metrics, they're a little high. Barrel rate 8%, 42.5% hard hit rate. But when you compare those numbers from just 2 months ago, these numbers are rapidly improving. The season average for his strikeout rate is at 26.1%. That's up 2 points. His walk rate's down to 5.4%. That's down a point or two. I really, really, really like where he is going. And in the last month, the underlying metrics do confirm he has a FIP of 175 and an XFIP of 251 in the first inning. Those are the numbers that you want to back in the first inning. Orioles ranked 27th in offensive production at home over the last few weeks, and I really do not expect them to score twice, or I should say 2 games in a row. Yesterday, they scored on a double steal on a really bad mental error from the Yankees. I don't think that's going to happen again. I think that Cole is also a better pitcher. He should be able to shut them down. On the other side of this equation, right, we have Kyle Bradish, who, outside of a little bit of control issues showcased by a 10.3% walk rate, the metrics look pretty good. 7.5% barrel rate, 37.5% hard hit rate, 22% strikeout rate, which isn't great, but it's league average and just good enough to get out of trouble when he needs to. Over the last 10 games, specifically in the first inning, he has an incredible 0.58 FIP to a 1.19 XFIP. And he's facing the Yankees, who rank dead last. And when I say dead last, usually teams have a WRC, which is weighted run creation, a very popular metric to understand how a team is hitting and their offensive production as a whole. They're in negative numbers. For reference, that number should be around 80 to 100. Last year, they were top 3. Actually, probably the last 3 years, they've been top 3 to 5. They have negative numbers this year in the first inning, and that's really due to Bellinger, Judge, Stanton all being out of that lineup. Not saying that Rice isn't incredible. I'm not saying Grisham can't hit a home run randomly here and there to lead off, but overall, this Yankee team is not hitting early. And you're facing a pitcher who really does specialize in starting games strong. I really like this one to go under. I will say there is a caveat to the Northeast right now. There is rain incoming. It is currently raining here in Philadelphia. There's an 80% chance of rain, but it goes down every hour after that to 40, 30, 20%. So as long as the pitchers don't get rattled by maybe having a little bit extra time on their hands waiting for the games to start, I really do like the no-run first inning here. Drew, any thoughts on this play? I've been talking for way too long.
No, I like your take on that a lot. Especially Bradish has been a very underrated pitcher. It's just part of being in a team like the Orioles. Not many people watch him as much, even though Baltimore's a decent sized market. But I like your take on the no runs first inning.
Yeah, I really love this play. I think this might be, except for the Pirates' first 3 under yesterday, which also cashed, this might be my favorite play of the week. And just self-promotion here, just because, we all do have our premium channels and we would like you to eventually subscribe to all of us. I do have a play in every single game today. Not that there's that many, but there's like 11-ish games. I forget exactly how many, but I do have a play in each one of them. If you're interested, feel free to ask. Feel free to request at the end of our show. We will have time to bring up anybody who wants to talk, ask questions, give a take. Whatever you want, we're here for you. 12:15 is around the time that we target that, so stay tuned. Drew, where are you going for your baseball play today? Drew, where are you at? You're on mute. Prince, are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I think Drew might have been kicked out of our little chat here. Unfortunate. Do you have any thoughts in the MLB today?
No, I don't have anything for the major leagues today, unfortunately, on my end.
Okay, we're gonna circle back to Drew.
Oh no, I'm here.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're here. Okay, sorry about that. Yep, Twitter difficulties. We're just gonna blame it on Twitter, whether or not it is at fault. All right, Drew, where are you going for your baseball play today?
Yeah. So uh, today is based off of kind of like Mariners need this, but I'll say it first. I had George Kirby over 7.5 outs is at plus 107. Yes, he has not covered this in his last 3 out of 4 starts. He has been struggling more than we expected, but before his previous 4 starts, he's covered this about like 6 straight times. He's been because he used to be, earlier in the season, and also like I said, 4 starts ago was a walking 6 innings. A lot of like not much walks. He would get quite a bit more ground balls than he usually does. He is facing a Brewers team that is extremely hot. Logan Gilbert got 5 innings for them yesterday, but they had to use 5 relievers yesterday. They only luckily had to use 3 the day before, and they gave up 22. But George Kirby's not someone who's limited in pitch count. The Mariners can't afford to use their bullpen even more than they have, especially yesterday, using all their top relievers so they can get a win. They also can't afford to preserve their starters at all for playoffs because they're not in the playoffs and they're still fighting for the playoffs. Usually you'll see people like teams, and Mariners were in this position last year, where they're basically guaranteed a playoff spot in some way, shape, or form, and they like to preserve their starters for the playoffs. But like I said before, the Mariners have to use their starters, and they still have one of the best starting five rotations in the league. You can make an argument they probably do have the best when they all play to their potential. So even though they're playing the Brewers, I think plus 107 is great for George Kirby over 70.5 because it's kind of the Brewers juice, as I call it. So yeah, give me definitely George Kirby over 17.5 outs. I think he bounces back and he at least goes 6 innings. If you want to as well, you can do like kind of like a hedge the up too early program for the Brewers because I think Kirby can still cover the 17.5, but he can also give up 2 or 3 runs.
Yeah, I don't mind this. I'm also looking on this live. You can get the over 16.5 outs for George Kirby at minus 118 over on Bet Rivers. Every other book, to my knowledge, has this number at 17.5. So if you have Bet Rivers, go get this line. I actually put double the amount that I normally put on your outs plays just because I really think this is a sharp play. You got to bounce back. And the 16.5 out, I expect him to finish the full 6 innings, but even if he struggles, going into the 6th inning. This is just a crazy line, even against the Brewers, who do tend to hit as the game goes on. Any questions on today's games? I actually have a play on your Giants today, if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I see value here in the first five money line. I also sprinkled a little bit on the full game money line, but you can get their first five money line at plus 150. I was really kind of befuddled by this line a little bit. I really expected this to be closer to minus 110, minus 120, but yeah, is it Landon Roop? Is that who's pitching today? I just lost my place. But I think this is a phenomenal
Yes.
spot for them. Roop has been pretty good. I don't really understand. I really just don't understand this line. Like I get that Cleveland has Gavin Williams going up on the mound, and he is pretty good, but he has shown some vulnerabilities. His barrel rate's at 11.7%. His hard hit rate's at 47.5%. Sure, he does have an incredible strikeout to walk ratio, but that might not be enough, especially if Roop is able to keep the walks down. The other underlying metrics on his end are phenomenal. He has a 5% walk rate, sorry, a 5% hit hard barrel rate, and a under 30% hard hit rate. That is incredible. And it's not like he's a pitch to contact guy. He has a 23.5% strikeout rate. So I really just don't understand this line. I think there's massive value on the Giants today. If you are playing the up two promo, you can get some real nice plus money on the Giants side of things. Just saying. And I don't bet the Giants that often. Drew, any thoughts on the Giants today? Or are you just happy that I'm
Yeah, no,
not
I
playing
no, I
against them?
definitely I would say like from my take for this is I think that it very well could happen. I don't know if you saw the game yesterday. That was like one of the ugliest games you'll ever watch. The Giants won 1-0. They had Tugboat starting, as you know, it was like former Little League World Series, like Little League hero. Struck out like 16 as a little leaguer, and then they had Hauser go 5, and then Smith go 2. So it's one of those. Cleveland, even though Cleveland is in playoff contention, they aren't really the best hitting team, and the Giants have shown they can. They can still compete and win the most random games. So I wouldn't blame you for picking the Giants in the spot because I know Roop has had his ups and downs, but he is a very solid pitcher. He actually does better on the road, I feel like. But to have the Giants at plus 182 or whatever it is, I think that's crazy value when I think that Gavin Williams is probably only, a little better than Landon Roop.
Yeah, something to keep in mind as well. Generally, I do expect positive regression from good pitchers, but He did just give up 5 earned runs over just 4.1 innings in San Diego. That's Gavin Williams for you. He's been a little shaky. He's given up 9 runs over his last 4 games. When you're comparing that to Landon Root, um, he's been a little bit shakier, but 4 runs last time out, but that was in Colorado. He gave up only 1 run against Detroit. He also struggled against San Diego, but overall, I think that he should give them a decent opportunity. And like you said, these pitchers are similar enough where I'm willing to take the plus 150 value on the first 5 money line. Not going to show up on a recap screen, but if you guys are listening, I do think it's worth a little bit of sprinkle. Another worth a little bit of sprinkle here, and another bounce back opportunity. Just going to throw this out there. Mariners Brewers, no run first inning, minus 115 over on DK. Both games so far in this series have had a run in the first inning. I don't think it happens 3 times in a row. Just going to be betting that pretty much until I win it. I think that it's going to happen today. All right, Prince, any questions, thoughts, angles on the MLB before we switch over to, I believe, the W?
Nope, nothing for me. I'm ready for the W.
All right, give me the W, baby. I'm excited.
Yes, we love W's here. We also love the W, double entendre there. But yeah, looking at today's slate, we do have a 3-game slate in the WNBA. We got the Fever taking on the Wings, Connecticut Sun and the Las Vegas Aces, and followed up by the Atlanta Dream and the LA Sparks. One game in particular that I am looking at tonight. Honestly, you could make a play on either of these 3 games. I think there's advantageous spots on each one of these games, but the one I'm looking at specifically is going to be between the Fever and the Wings. These two teams are high scoring teams, high pace of play teams. Defense is a little bit optional at times for these teams. So I am all over the over 185.5 in this one. You're going to get there around minus 112. Shop around your books, might find a better price. But in any case here, I think we see a lot of points. Looking at these two teams again, very prolific offensively. Again, defensively, they have their lapses at times. So I think we're in for a high scoring game in this one. Give me the Fever and the Wings over 185.5, and that comes in at minus 112.
Absolutely love it. Also, go check out at BetMGM. There's a boost on the WNBA. I got this line at plus 100. I do have a question for you in terms of the outlook of the WNBA. Not WNBA, but at least the Dallas Wings. Aziz Fudd got injured, I believe, yesterday or a few days ago. Number 1 pick in the 2026 WNBA draft. How does that affect the markets? Is it significant? I feel like it's significant.
It is. Yeah, it's significant. She's been a major contributor to the Dallas Wings this season, specifically offensively. So, yeah, I think there will be obviously some slight regression from Dallas without her in the lineup. But on this particular matchup, I'm not sure if it's going to make a difference just because of the pace of play and the way that both teams like to approach the game. I'm not so sure it's going to really impact the total that much. But yeah, going forward for a few other games, I do think it might have a little bit of an impact. She has been outstanding, probably rookie of the year contender this season. So yeah, they're definitely going to miss her, but I'm not sure how long she's going to be out for. But while she's not in the lineup, they'll miss her for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Fantastic. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how we can take advantage of that maybe in the upcoming days. Also, I believe, yeah, sorry, go on.
Oh no, just one more thing. I'll let you finish your thought. Go ahead and finish your thought because I do have one more thing. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was a train without a track. I wasn't going anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, no, one other thought I have for tonight as well. You guys know we like to do our tried and tested Caitlin Clark 2+3, Jane Reese 10+ rebounds. That parlay has cashed for us, I think, 5 out of 7 times so far this season. I looked at it this time around, a little bit too much juice this time. We're looking at maybe, I think it was like +2 or minus 220, minus 225. But if you're able to get any kind of a boost on any of these books, we talked about it before. A lot of these books offer really good boosts on promos on the WNBA. So if you're able to boost it, then I'd say it's probably worth a shot again. It's been pretty much of an auto hit for us. I went ahead and played it personally, just because I don't care. You know, if something hits on a regular basis, I don't care what the juice is. I'll continue to play it. But in terms of the show plays, I don't like to give anything out. Really over minus 150 is what I tried to stay at here. So with it being around minus 220, I didn't want to necessarily give it out. But like I said, if you guys have any boosts or you want want to play it anyway. It does hit on a pretty regular basis, and I think it very well could hit tonight with the Dream. I'll take it on the Sparks. Sparks is a pretty bad team. I think Angel Reese should be in for a big night on the boards, and like we just talked about with the Fever Wings pace of play, should be pretty up tempo. And Caitlin Clark should definitely have opportunities to get at least 2-3. So a little bonus play for you guys if you guys want to attack it. Again, it is heavily juiced, but it hits pretty regularly. Caitlin Clark 2+3s and Angel Reese 10+ rebounds unofficially. If you guys want to add that to your bet slip.
Can you send it to us in the chat so that I can remember to put that in after the show? Also, I just wanted to ask, maybe would you consider Alia Boston's over 5.5 rebounds as an additional leg to that parlay?
Absolutely. Aaliyah Boston's been on a tear offensively and on the rebounds. I would even look at her double doubles. I believe she's had 3 straight double doubles through the last 4 games. She's had a double double. So looking at Aaliyah Boston, points, rebounds, combination is always a safe play, especially again. I think this matchup is really favorable for her as well.
Yeah, shout out Ben from the Early Edge. He is the producer of that show, and I believe he gave out that play this morning in his own same game parlay in the I think it was the Indiana Fever Dallas game, if I'm not mistaken. All right. We finished the W. Let's get into soccer. We got some day soccer today.
Oh yeah, we got day soccer, of course. We do have a lot of the European qualifiers. Of course, Thursday seems to be our big day for European qualifiers. We're talking about Europa League qualification, Conference League qualification. So I'm looking just briefly here through the slate. Looks like we got about maybe 30+ games here, all kicking off between about a 3-hour window. But what I'm looking at specifically, we're actually going to put all those. They're going to be on the VIP channel. So if you guys want to get more plays, if you guys are looking for plays for the Conference League qualifying, Europa League qualifying, head on over to X. Do head on over to X. Head on over to TikTok. Follow me on X and TikTok at Prince of Picks 10. Once again, do follow me over on X and TikTok. Do follow me at Prince of Picks 10. And you guys are going to find more of those plays over there. For the show purposes, guys, these cards are only going to get bigger and bigger in terms of my personal plays here, plays that I give out for the VIP. As we are entering towards the meat and potatoes of the European soccer season. So we're getting into EPL, La Liga, Bundesliga, and we're only going to have so much time here on the show to give out plays. So if you guys, again, want my full card, want all the plays, do head on over to X and TikTok and follow me over at Prince of Picks 10. But in terms of the show plays, we're going to skip the qualification here for Europa League and Conference League. And what I am going to attack here for the show is we do have a play in the England League One. This kicked off last week, so we're in the second week of the domestic league here in League One, which is basically the third division in the English soccer pyramid. We got a matchup today, 3 p.m. Eastern, between Sheffield Wednesday hosting Bradford. Sheffield Wednesday coming off of one of the worst seasons of all time in the championship. They got relegated. They dealt with a lot of penalties. They dealt with financial penalties, point deductions. Just an absolutely horrific season last season in the championship. They were buried at the bottom of the table for the majority of the season. But this is a new season for them. They're coming into this one with a clean slate, and they are coming into this one in the third division. And I think this team is a little bit too good for the third division. I do expect them to be competing for promotion right back up to the championship, which again is the second division. Not to get confused here. So I like Sheffield Wednesday in this spot. Now they're hosting Bradford. Bradford did have a good season last year in League One. They ended up finishing top 6. But they did not qualify to get promoted. So they're right back where they were last year. Bradford is. And I think Sheffield Wednesday at home, they already won their first game this season. I think they could be in for another W tonight. We're getting a good price here on a draw no bet at -130. So that's the way I'm going to attack this one. So give me Sheffield Wednesday, draw no bet. Comes in at -130. If they draw, we get our money back. But I do think Sheffield Wednesday should come into this one as the better team and rebounding off of a horrific season last season, one of the worst in this club's history, which is a very, very rich club in history, a very cultured club, a very proud club, very proud fan base. So I think they're in for a bounce back season this season, and I like them here to get things going against Bradford. So give me Sheffield Wednesday, draw no bet at home against Bradford again. That comes in at -130. That's all I have officially for soccer. I do have a futures play, of course, in the English Premier League. Before I get into that, Stern, let me just get your thoughts, if you have any, on this play here.
No projections on English League 1 or 2. Hard to find lines too, but you can find this on DK Got this at -130 with you. So yeah, I'm on board. I'm going to be interested in watching it. Gotta love that all day action from the baseball, soccer, and PGA today. It's a great day. All right, give us your future of the day.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys. So looking at our futures play of the day in the English Premier League, as we are all set here to get this season kicked off tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow's going to be our first game here. Arsenal's going to be hosting Coventry, so we got a couple more futures plays for you guys. We'll have one today and one tomorrow. But looking at today, your futures play of the day in the EPL, I am looking at, in particular, Ipswich Town. This is a newly promoted team. Got promoted from the championship last season. So they are playing back in the Premier League. This is a team that's been kind of yo-yoing. They were in the Premier League a couple seasons ago, got relegated, went down to the championship. Now they're right back up to the Premier League again. But this team has spent a lot of money. One of the top spenders in all of Europe, one of the top spenders in all of England. This team has spent over $100 million on their payroll. They've done that in an attempt to stay in the Premier League. They don't want to go back down. They want to stay competitive in the Premier League for multiple reasons. One of those definitely being financial. You get a huge boost in your payroll if you stay up in the Premier League. Of course, you get a share of the revenue that the Premier League brings in, which is the most in the world. So teams that come into the Premier League, a lot of times they want to stay in. A lot of times financially they can't, but Ipswich is all in. They are clearly all in on this season. They want to stay up. So for that reason, I'm looking at their point total in the season. Their point total is set at 33.5 right now. So what that means basically, guys, is if this team goes 11 wins, 26 losses, and one draw, they'll cover this point total. You get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. There's 38 games in a season. So if they at least go, all they have to do minimum is go 11 wins, 26 losses, and one draw. And they will cover this point total. Of course, there's various ways they can get there, but that's the most straightforward way. So you're talking about a team that could go 15 losses more than wins and still cover this number. I think Ipswich should be able to do that. I think this number is a little bit too low, considering how much money they have spent in their payroll to really have an attempt here to stay in the Premier League. So I think getting them over 33.5 points at -125. I really like that play a lot. I'm not sure why the books are disrespecting Ipswich Town on this level, just considering how much they're bought into this season. And so I do think they have a chance, a real good chance, to cover this point total. So give me Ipswich Town over to 33.5 points, and that comes in at -125.
All righty. I feel like this is an underdog bet, which is always fun to kind of get into on the slate. I lost my projections for the league standings, but I feel like they should be at least middle of the table.
Yeah, so I would tell you, based on what the analysts are saying, a lot of the analysts say this is typically a theme. The three teams that get promoted are usually the favorites to get relegated, right? So this year, those three teams are Coventry, Ipswich, and Hull City. Those three teams are newly promoted from the championship. Usually speaking, those are always going to be your three favorites to get relegated. However, this season, I think it's going to be a little different just based on, like I said, how much Ipswich, I mean, they spend, to put it in context, they've spent more than Manchester United and I believe more than Liverpool. So they are absolutely like spending real money to really boost their talent here in an attempt to stay in the Premier League. So if they hadn't done that, I'd probably say yeah, they're probably going to get relegated. But when you spend that much money on your payroll, I mean it's pretty hard to not be competing to stay up. And 33.5 points is a pretty low number. I don't know exactly what the relegation number usually is. I should probably look that up, but I would imagine it's probably less than that. So yeah, I just think there's value on them here. I'm not sure where they finish in the table, honestly. Probably bottom half, but 33.5 points, that's a little bit too low considering what they spent this season, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward. When does the EPL start? Just remind me, please.
yeah, so once again, we are kicking off things tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon is going to be our very first game. We have Arsenal hosting Coventry. Of course, Coventry, one of the newly promoted teams, having won the championship last season. So we'll definitely have a play for that tomorrow morning.
Very much looking forward. And also, sorry I didn't mute myself if you heard me typing.
I did. I was wondering what that was.
So sorry. I realized as
No
soon as
worries.
I did that was bad. Always tried to multitask. Thank you, ADHD. Drew, any thoughts on any other kinds of futures, whether it be football, basketball, just giving you a platform to kind of give it out, and then we will invite any and all of our listeners to come up on our show, and we will have a question of the day as well. So that's fun. Oh, and I almost forgot, we have UFC, so I will bring another UFC pick if I can look at my other screen and pick one out.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I have some NFL, like I don't know, news that you guys saw happen today. A big one with a few things. A big one with the Texans. Jaden Higgins is out with an ACL, which I think will hurt the Texans receiving core. Um, I think the Texans still will win the division, but that's a huge blow to them. He was a young star that they were looking forward to, and of course, liked him a lot. I've seen people, did of course not just great in fantasy with him, but when I watched him play, he was elite. Hopefully, Tank Dale can come back and Nico Collins can stay healthy. Another one is that Alvin Kamara will be out for probably like a month. And then luckily, though, they got Travis. And apparently, guys, by the way, I learned this. I didn't know this until the other day. Someone mentioned the space. But apparently, Travis Etienne came out and said, my last name is not pronounced Etienne, it's pronounced Achan. So his name is now Travis Achan. So I think that's very interesting. No, actually, it was always pronounced Achan because that's how his name is pronounced. But I thought that was interesting, So I didn't know if anyone knew that because I heard someone say Travis Achan. I was like, are you combining Travis Etienne and like Devon Achan? And I was like, no, he said that, and I looked it up, and it was true. But the last one was, of course, we know the Cowboys got Von Miller, and then the Seahawks yesterday signed Trayvon Diggs. I don't know how much that will do because I don't think Trayvon Diggs is that good anymore. But we'll see how they use him. He could be a good veteran presence for the Seahawks. But no futures for me as of right now. Um, I expect I expect the Texans odds probably to take a little bit of dip for over exaggeration in that matter. And this is also why I don't like doing fantasy drafts until the very last minute. I have to do it until after the last preseason game.
Speaking of fantasy drafts, we will and are trying to work on a OnlyBet Sports podcast, fantasy football league. So stay tuned for that. Prince and I are going to work out the details. Drew, feel free to also work out the details if you so have the time. It's going to be a fantastic season, but you missed. Well, I guess it's just important to me because I'm a Giants fan, but you missed a really solid acquisition. Najee Harris. To be fair, I think he's been mostly a disappointment in terms of the expectations coming out when he was on the Steelers, but he's on the Giants now, and I think that adds a nice little wrinkle when you need those tough 2 or 3 yards on the goal line. So definitely keep an eye out for him. I don't think he's going to have a lot of fantasy impact, but he might have a lot of game impact. Do you have any thoughts on Najee?
Oh no, like the thing about Najee is he's when he came to the NFL, what didn't translate well with him that I noticed was his his basically breakaway speed and his cuts and his like change of direction wasn't the best. But he eventually adjusted to a certain extent. He's not going to give you like home run plays. He'll average usually around like under 4 yards per carry or barely four. But he is somebody that I hope eventually becomes more productive than he did while we with the Steelers. I know with the Steelers he had like a good year, but he's not really a back that's going to, like blow you away. Something he does really do well with is pass protection, and I think that will help a lot, in my personal opinion, especially with Jackson Dart. So we'll see how he does. He can be kind of like another Cam Scatterboo in a way where he can just run people over. So I hope he gets coached up more and he's able to be more productive than he was with the Steelers.
Yeah, if he's able to find a role in the pass blocking and short yard gainage, that might be very valuable to give Cam Scatterboo a little bit of a break. I think that some of the concern is, especially coming after the injury that he is pushing him too far. And if Cam Scatterboo goes out, I think that's a huge loss for the Giants offense. To be fair, I wasn't 100% sold on him, despite the incredible talent and showing. Like, I don't know how long term someone that small can hit that big. But it'll be definitely fascinating to see that raw energy in the Giants locker room. Him and Jackson Dart together are hilarious. I really am looking forward. And again, I am a Giants fan. My outlook on the season isn't exactly as great as I think some people may expect, but I do expect it to be a fun season and at the very least more competitive games overall. All right. Addison, you requested to speak. How you doing, brother? Any F1 talk?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing today? No F1 talk, but I do have some news of the industry, to steal a term from my friend Matt Peralt, if you're so inclined.
Yeah, what you got for us?
So I woke up this morning about 6:37, looked at my Discord, and it was blowing up. Private Discord with some friends. They were saying, log on to Fanatics and just opt into everything. And so I did. And lo and behold, $2,000 of fan cash was in my account after opting into all of those things. Um, it has since been retracted. I think about an hour ago, Fanatics took it back. You could check out their Twitter. They have an official statement. It says, we're undergoing quick system maintenance on a few fan cash features. Placing bets with fan cash, converting fan cash to casino credit, and using fan cash profit boosts are temporarily paused. Everything else is up and running, yada, yada, yada. So some folks were waking up to, $1,500 to $2,000 of fan cash, which can be used to purchase bonus bets. I believe they even just turned on a feature where you can just use it to bet straight up. You don't have to convert it anymore. And then, of course, that money is good in the Fanatics web store as well. So I was able to nab 3 hockey tickets. I'm going to go see the Blue Jackets and the Capitals on New Year's Eve and see Ovechkin on his farewell tour. Got some jerseys, some hats, placed some futures bets, and then I think I had about $500 left before they took it all back. So that's my story time for today.
That's awesome, man. I'm happy you were able to take advantage of it. I am a software engineer, so I understand how these problems happen under the hood. And you know what? A company as big as that taking advantage, and to be honest, we're all in the sports betting world. These books are trying and are taking advantage of you. If you get a chance to take one up on them, I don't think that's as morally wrong as maybe taking from other people. If it's I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say that publicly. I apologize. But yeah, nice, well done for you. And I did see that message in my inbox this morning. So thank you for trying to get me in on it. Unfortunately, I tried to sign up for Fan Graphs, right? Fangraphs. Not Fangraphs, sorry. That's a sports betting tool that I use for my MLB research, but whatever it is. I got banned because I tried to open up my account while I was visiting Canada. And they were like, "You're not from Canada." That was it. It was over. I've appealed a few times.
Oh, wow.
There's no coming back from that. So you know what? Whatever. It is what it
Yeah, I
is.
mean, I see these companies on the same level as the alcohol and tobacco companies. I'll stick it to them anytime I can. I understand that there are employees that are just like, me and you who work for these companies, but I'll stick it to them anytime I can. Maybe it's bad karma. I don't know. I bought some friends some stuff who weren't able to log in time, so I think I did some good deeds and have redeemed myself in
I
the
don't
eyes of the
think
betting
anyone's
gods.
shedding any tears. Oh man.
It's just a funny thing that happened today. It's so weird when things like that happen, and yeah,
Yep.
it's funny.
For sure. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. If anybody else wants to jump on, just request to speak. Otherwise, we're gonna get to our question of the day. I'm gonna go to you, Drew, first for a question. If not, Prince, I'm gonna go to you next. And then I'll clean up in case nothing's happening. All right, Drew, what do you got? And also opportunity to give out any last takes on the world of sports today or this upcoming weekend. Shoot,
I
I
don't.
almost forgot. UFC. UFC, can't forget about the UFC, man. All right, let me get into this real quick. I do have another pick. I picked one out. We've got a matchup between Chanel Dyer and Elise Reed. This is going off Saturday. Now, opening the card here, Dyer is a extremely heavy favorite against Elise Reed. Elise Reed is a veteran. It is a profile of the fight night Saturday night where we're getting a lot of veterans who are going to need to manage, in the full sense of the word, some of these younger, talented, heavy strikers. Dyer just possesses insane hand speed, combination volume. Sorry, he has a 5.8 strikes, significant strikes landed per minute. She has shown incredible consistency in being able to, put together combos. It's going to be really tough for Reed to match that. And on the other side, Reed has a much lower volume, but the power is there. I expect one of the two to knock each other out. I'm not going to pick who is going to knock out who. I think that you can get Dyer at plus 110 to win by KO. You might as well just pay the extra few cents at minus 125 for anybody to knock anybody out, which is, I think, a fantastic way to approach this fight. Drew, I don't know if you've gone through the UFC card yet, but how do you feel about that play? And do you have any other looks?
I haven't gone through it yet. I usually like to go through it. I'll go through it like tonight probably, and then I'll let you know what I think. From what I heard, what your information, I like your play on that. But I'll let you know, of course, tomorrow of how I think about the whole card and my best bets.
Yeah, be sure to check out my UFC article. I've made all my picks. I'm just going to be cleaning up, making some images, and then I will get that article out in the next hour or two. So, Drew, when you do your research, be sure to check out my article. I have a nice little write up on paths to victory for each fighter, the stats and metrics underlying, and just their actual physical traits, almost everything that you need to be able to make an informed decision, or at least understand how the fight can and should play out. All right, Drew, going to go back to my original question. Do you have a question of the day or any other sports tidbits to share with us?
Yeah, for the sports tidbits, I will say we are approaching college football very soon, and I'm very excited. College football starts in 9 days. August 29th is the first game. And then the NFL, the first game is actually, I believe, on a Wednesday. So that's going to be very fun. And then we'll have a Thursday game as well, too. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think, next week I'll have more information on college. On college football because this will be the last weekend we have guys without football because college football starts next weekend. So, but I don't have a question of the day.
Oh, that's phenomenal. I'm so excited for football season. And again, I'm primarily an MLB capper, but we did quite well on the NFL the last few seasons, and I'm looking forward to getting some of those plays in. And also those boosts from the books are going to be coming fast and furious. So if you have the opportunity to hedge, get Pickett or Juice Reel. Those are the two books that I currently use to compare lines, and you can definitely get some guaranteed money to boost your wallet. Prince, any last thoughts on the world of sports today, this weekend, and or a question of the day?
No real last thoughts for me. Like I said, we got all the big leagues coming back this weekend. La Liga, Serie A's coming back, French League One, EPL. Bundesliga starts next weekend, so we got to wait one more week for the German Bundesliga to come back. But then we'll have everything back in action really by the end of next week. The WNBA is going to be going on an international break here at the end of the month. We're going to have the FIBA World Cup for the women's basketball, international basketball, so that'll be a fun tournament. You guys already know what we do here with international sports, international soccer, international basketball. That's my wheelhouse. So really excited for that to get started here. And we'll see if we can get some advantageous plays here going forward. On about a couple, about 2.5 weeks, I think, we'll be start to tip off on the world basketball. And then, of course, we'll have the NFL at that same time, college football, and everything will start to come together at once here. So excited as we keep talking about getting into the sports equinox here where everything converges at the same time. In terms of a question of the day, I do have one kind of little fun question. Maybe you guys are interested in it. So here's the question of the day. If you could change your name for 1 week, what would it be and why? Stern, of course, I'll go to you first.
Gosh, you have finally stumped me. I usually have a quick answer for all of these questions.
Yeah, that's why I like to go to you first because you're usually pretty you're usually pretty quick with it.
What name would I want? I mean, I don't know. My name's fine, but I don't know.
Well, we all like our name. We all like our own name. But if you could change it for just 1 week, and for the whole week they call you this name, whatever it is, X name, whatever. Anything? Okay, I'll tell you mine first. I'll give you guys a chance to think about it. So for me, guys, my actual name is Payam. My mom did not name me Prince of Pigs. That is not on my birth certificate.
Wait, what?
I know, shocking, right? I know. Can you believe it? Yeah, I know that the doctor didn't say, "Congratulations, baby boy, Prince of Pigs." No, that didn't happen. But in any case, so because of my name, when I was growing up, Master P was a real thing. No Limit Soldiers, Master P. If you know, you know. So really, like throughout middle school, high school, a lot of my friends would call me Master P. I always thought that was kind of cool. Getting called, a master in part of your name. So that's something that if I change my name, everyone call me Master P for a week. That'd be probably pretty cool. So that's what I would go with.
Drew, what's your response to the question?
So what's the question exactly? I was
All
just
right, Drew. So all right, so your name is Drew, right? But if you could be named someone
Drew
people
Andrew.
sure, whatever. Either way,
Hmm.
if if they called you something different for a whole week, right? Your name will be you. You choose. For the whole week, they gotta call you this name. Well, what would it be?
So that's interesting. I mean, a lot of my life, people have called me by like my last name and have like made my last name into something different. They'll be like, even though my last name's pronounced Deluki, people will say like Lucci, Luch, or stuff like that.
So
Like
maybe
call me
like
that.
Mr. Cool Guy or Pimp
Yeah.
or what? You tell me.
uh,
It's something that can be off the wall. Just think whatever. Not nothing related to your actual name. Just something completely different.
let me think. What I'm trying to think of what's a cool, just a cool overall name. Like I'm thinking of a name. Uh,
Or
I'm
like
thinking of a
Kobe.
name
Like they
that I
call you
would like, and
Kobe
I'm
all
thinking of a
week.
name
I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
get tired of for a week. And you know what? Like I'm gonna go simple, but I think it would be really cool if like someone called me like Chief or something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. That
Yeah, yeah,
works. Sure. All right, Chief.
or
All right. Cool.
Captain.
Chief.
Yeah.
Captain, yeah, Captain, yeah, Chief Daddy. All right, Stern. Any? Maybe this question wasn't as good as I thought it was, but since we're already there, go ahead and finish it out, Stern. What?
Listen, the questions
Did
are
you come
just
up
to
with
get us
anything?
talking. I don't know.
Yeah,
I really
exactly.
don't know because it's too real for me. Because if I wanted to, I would go change my name.
Yeah, I know you love to think things so practically and so like a matter of factly. Like, no, dude, this is just a week. Like, it's not official. Like, we're just
All right.
okay. Never mind. All right.
How about Wolfgang? Just popped into my
That's
mind.
funny.
I,
Here
I
you go.
don't know.
Okay. That
Just
is a
call me
cool name, by the
Wolfgang for
way.
a week.
That is a
I
cool
will
name, though.
say,
Oh, like
That's a cool
Wolfgang
name.
Puck.
yeah, that's what popped into my head. um, I will say, oh no, I just lost my train of thought. Um, oh, all right, sorry, lost my train of thought. Yeah, any last thoughts on the name change, Prince?
No, that's fine. We
Oh
can
wait, did
definitely
Addison
leave
have
that there.
anything?
Oh yeah, we grab Addison since he's still with us. Addison, any I know this is a very random question with very random answers, but if you happen to have one, any particular different name you'd like to go by for a week?
The only thing I could come up with is Beavis. That's the name I put into the Taco Bell automated ordering computer so that whenever my order comes up, they have to say Beavis.
I love it. That's awesome.
What about Mr. Fancash? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it is now. Yeah.
When I think of Beavis, I think of Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Uh, I do have a quick story though, Prince. Master P reminded me. I used to work down in the Louisville, Kentucky market, a city that Master P kind of calls his second home, and he did some funny advertisements with a law company down there. I sent you a link to one, but if you guys on your own just want to go and Google Master P Louisville law advertisements, It's pretty funny. He says the number and he says they'll make him say it's
I was gonna say that it has to have that in part of the wonder if that's his trademark. So I was gonna say, does it say make him say anywhere in it? That's pretty funny.
yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
that
check that
stuff
out
was
for
on
sure.
local TV. Yeah, funny.
You know what?
Uh,
You just gave Addison. You just gave us our question of the day for tomorrow, which I'm just going to preview. What is your favorite sketch comedy show? Could be any time. There's so many good ones. Sorry for interrupting, but it just popped into my head on the yeah. Anyway,
no,
I'll
that's
get to
good.
my
Now it
answer tomorrow.
gives us time to think about it. So thanks, Mulch.
All right, let's get to our recap of the day. We are 5 minutes to the end of the hour. Drew, why don't you lead us off?
Yeah, I have George Kirby over 17.5 outs at plus 107. And remember, guys, it's early baseball, so, try to get these in quick.
Yes, early baseball indeed. Give me the Yankees, Orioles, no run first inning at minus 125 for a full unit. And then, of course, half a unit on all my UFC plays. Dyer, Reed by KO or TKO minus 125 over on Caesars. All right, Prince, close us out.
All right, guys. Looking at soccer today, we're looking at the England League One. Give me Sheffield Wednesday on a draw, no bet. That comes in at minus 130. In the WNBA tonight, I'll be on the Fever Wings over 185.5. That one comes in around minus 112. And then your EPL English Premier League futures play of the day. We're looking at Ipswich Town over 33.5 points. That comes in at minus 125. Stern, any final thoughts before I close this out?
Yeah, shout out Addison. F1 is on the mind. Please feel free to look at our articles that is sent out on every single podcast. He has 3 plays. Go check them out. Also, Brian Liberati, we are currently in the BMW Championship. He has multiple plays. Some of them have yet to go off. So if you haven't had a chance, go look at yesterday's article or today's podcast when I send it out, it will be on the bottom in the in progress / yet to start. Scotty Scheffler is going off at like 2:30 p.m. There's plenty of time to get that winner in today. All right, Prince, close this out again.
100%. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. This has been the Thursday edition of the OnlyBets Sports Podcast with Stern Bets. Drew Delicchio on the Prince Picks. Let's have a great afternoon. Cash out these tickets. We'll be back in live tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Monday through Friday, you can catch us over at OnlyBets Podcasts on Twitter/X. Once again, have a great weekend or have a great afternoon, and we will talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks.